All right, guys. Sorry about that. I'm only about 10 minutes late, but whatever. It's better than the 30 minutes that usually takes place, or the 45, or the hour. Or I could be an hour early like last time. But whatever. So what's going on, guys? How is everybody tonight? I hope everybody's doing good. In the chat, thank you guys for being so patient. Like I said, I ended up rushing home. I was like, I didn't realize the time. We ended up going and doing some last minute shopping. Because I figured, we could do this in like 30 minutes. Nope. Something always has to happen because, time knows when you're in a hurry. Anyways, how's it going tonight, Rambo? Everything going good with you, sir?
Yeah, going good. Can't complain.
Nice. All right, guys. So tonight's topics are going to be pretty varied. We got a few things to talk about tonight. One of them is always, I think this could become a trend, is Twitter. I never thought we'd be revisiting that topic again.
No.
You're like, no. But
Especially not that damn word. Let me see. What's his name? Money Man's in here.
oh yeah, Money Man. He said he wanted to be up in this, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to drag him up and see if he's there.
All right. The
Hey, Money
topic
Man,
is me.
When you want to unplug it or unmute it, go ahead and unmute. And...
Oh, we got to unmute him first. Hold on. There you go.
okay.
You said, hey, what's
what's
up,
up?
Money Man? How's it going?
Good.
Oh, Colto's here. So let's get Colto in here.
Okay.
Oh, and just so you know, were you going to get what was it, porn Morel from Twitter on?
I don't know which one he.
I don't know which one he is. Yeah, I don't know which one he is.
Because that one is Major Awesomeness in the supporters chat.
That's Major Awesomeness.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll get him up here.
Okay. Yeah, I'll bring him up.
I'm gonna go ahead and unmute him.
Hello, good sirs.
Whoa, let me get you turned down. All right. Hey, what's going on, Colto? How's it going?
Hello.
Major Awesomeness just drops out.
I'll try it one more time.
Stay here.
Yes.
Oh, he's trying to talk. Okay, yeah. Undeafen yourself, sir.
What?
You are deafened, Major Awesomeness.
I am not deafened.
That
I
is
just clicked
weird.
The button that said
Oh,
I'm
wow.
Glitch.
Okay.
Yeah, it's glitched up.
It says you are. Oh.
And he's gone.
No, there's this one glitch where it said I was muted and deafened, but I really wasn't. So I just hid in the channel with my friends, and they thought I was just AFK.
Oh, nice.
So can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
And you can hear us. So let's just leave that thing there as a meme.
Yeah.
Just don't touch anything and you'll be fine.
I clicked the deafen button and it moved me to the supporters chat for some reason in like the icons, but I couldn't hear them. I could still hear y'all.
That is
nice.
kind of weird.
Discord's really it's glitchy, but it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we love the glitches.
Right, glitches make it work. It's what makes it so good.
Too bad we don't have those mods to help
Yeah,
work.
that's what Sonic.
Jumping right in.
Jumping right into the news, right, fellas? All right, boys.
That was
So,
a fun topic.
Oh God.
all
It
right.
wasn't for me, man.
All right, boys. So we're gonna go ahead and start this off right. We're gonna sit there and talk about it. Let's talk about the Twitter shit posting, Colto. Twitter shit posting,
All right.
sir. Let's talk about situational awareness, sir. I mean, because it seems like you kind of jumped in there without really knowing what the hell you're talking about, and that's why I asked Rambo earlier. I was like, "Hey, man, like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?" Like, I wanted to make sure before I got in there, I was gonna, I didn't want to just shit post away. So, what is up? Were you serious on Twitter, or were you fucking around shit posting?
No, I was kind of serious, but I also wasn't like super serious about it.
Okay.
What I saw was like he was saying like, oh, you have to compare things base versus base, and I added my 2 cents.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, I was talking about base. Yeah, I was talking about actual base comparisons, and you were asking what does that mean by compare, or was it base pairs? That's a one-on-one equation that's equal to each other. That's what I was talking about. When you go PC equal to console, not saying let's go ahead and compare a 1080 Ti to what the PS4 does. You know what I mean? I'm just saying the conversation was about like the type of conversation they were having, more or less, not so much is PC better than consoles, as it were.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah, the thing is though, is that whenever you're comparing, if I'm comparing like Titanfall 2 on PC to Titanfall 2 on console, you do have to compare the base game. I'm not saying that the console's ever going to win out. I don't know if it's going to win out or not. You'd have to
It
compare to
definitely
find
won't,
out.
I don't
Probably
think.
probably won't. Well, it actually just kind of depends on what graphics card you're comparing it to.
yeah. I mean,
Obviously, it's not going to win against a 1080 or
no,
something
hell
like
no.
that,
Intel HD graphics or whatever
right.
you sent me
Intel
earlier.
Right.
HD
So, but I mean, that's
3000
still
for the win.
that's still considered a PC gaming computer. You know, it just can't do the big games.
Well,
So, I
yeah,
mean,
but
it all just depends.
I wouldn't recommend an overpriced
Well,
pre-built computer.
it was
with
actually only
the wood.
$189, so it was pretty cheap.
Oh yeah, well,
But
yeah.
still, yeah,
I
I
wouldn't
get you. I
assume
get you.
anyone building a computer would also just buy Intel HD graphics. I know about that graphics card.
Right.
It is the
See,
worst piece
that's
of garbage I've ever had to use.
that's where you
Right.
get into the PC is objectively better. The
That was a
word,
history I do not like to delve back into.
but we have to delve back into it one time. I don't want to. I don't want to go back to it either.
Hey, you know what?
But
I will retweet that tweet to you, Rambo.
I just I just have to explain it to Kalto. Like what I meant by that is that you can't say PC is objectively better than console, because that, I mean, even if you did, like somebody else said, pros and cons, you could do all objective pros and cons. That's fine. But as soon as by saying PC, you're saying that's
PC as
that's
a
like
whole,
saying,
not just
yeah,
one
that's
thing.
like saying
yeah.
white people. You're not talking about a certain white person. You're talking about every white people. Same thing with that. You're talking about every PC. So I could throw that PC that I showed you there into the mix and say, is that objectively better than my console? No, it's not. So that's the reason why you cannot. It's like PC cannot be objectively better. You have to like specific.
Well,
It's gotta be pretty
Okay.
much acquisitioned into
Well,
a corner
objectively-
and then compared to the
Right
others.
there, right
Objectively
there,
is
guys.
about,
that is
like-
the best. That's the best argument I've ever heard right there. When me and Moneyman did the argument with Cyrus Martin, his argument was incredibly stupid.
No, he
His
actually had.
argument
I mean, he actually had a good point. It just that I think y'all were having just miscommunication between the two. But
I mean,
But
maybe
being a
his
third
main
party
argument
listening-
was that someone might want to play the games on consoles and someone might not want to play the games on PCs. That's not objective at all, and we're talking objectivity.
No, that's subjective. Yeah.
no, that's subjective. Yeah,
Exactly.
what you want to play. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, no, there were plenty of. Now, admittedly, yeah, Cyrus did have some good points, but his main argument that he kept on bringing up was subjective and false.
Yeah, no,
I
that
didn't
part
get to
was
bring that up
subjective.
because I didn't get to bring that up because I was a faggot and didn't prepare.
Word.
Yeah.
No longer.
I haven't prepared
And
either.
I think I can agree with that PC as a whole argument. I can agree with that.
Right.
Right.
kind of
it's-
agree with it
I
too.
mean,
I
it's
can't. There's
it's-
probably someone who can
nobody-
dispute that in that
by
opinion.
by saying that that PC is not objectively better isn't saying that console is better.
Yeah, no.
I mean, better
God,
is
no.
really all subjective to your person.
Yeah.
I mean, which one's better for you? That's the main key point is the better portion, because what's good for you might not be
Because-
good for me.
Because we already know that, you cannot develop a full-on game with a base PS4, right? You have to
No.
get a developer console, which is what, twice the price, triple the price. But we both know that you could develop a game on a PC using last generation technology, even
Right.
with Wings 3D and release optimized software. So
Probably happens
It-
all the time too.
oh yeah, that's where most of the Indiegogo stuff came from, was last generation tech. So, I mean, for what it does versus what you want to use it for is a big thing, and that's kind of where I was going with it on Twitter. It's just the goddamn character limits. Jesus Christ!
I know. I hate.
Oh,
They've
yeah.
got to fix that shit.
Like when me and Colto were going back and forth today, I was like, Jesus Christ! I want to like wring this kid's paragraphs by the neck, but I know it's the fucking Twitter thing. Like Jesus,
It was
because
so hard to find everything you were saying because you kept on quoting me instead of replying. So I can't go down a list. I got to go to different multiple tweets.
oh yeah,
find
at
out what
first
the shit
at
you
first
said.
I was just being a jackass. But then when you said it, I was like, oh, okay. Then I'll start replying. Because I forgot that like Twitter will bounce you around all over the place. Because me, Rambo, you, and I think Major, Awesome, and Money Man were all kind of in the same conversation a little bit. And like
Yeah, me a little bit, not as much.
you can
I
see
mean, Money Man was just like so not into the objective part. It wasn't even funny.
I'm doing my best.
think
to
Money
stay
Man.
involved.
He learned his lesson on that one.
Yeah, that was funny. Like, because when I looked at your timeline, Colto, I was like, oh shit. I'm like, the fucking conversation is literally like 30,000 ways from Sunday.
Yeah, you said like, well, you're misguided from the conversation. I was like, well, if I have to look at 50,000 different tweets to
To
find
catch
out
up?
how the conversation is
Well,
going.
if it was just me, you, and Rambo, then it wouldn't have been as difficult. But
Well, I thought you
Yeah.
saw the original conversation.
So did I,
The
yeah,
original
so did I.
conversation started between, I think it was like, it had Weapon Will in it, or BG in it.
that's
and,
that was the originating
Rags.
conversation. Yeah, it was
and
Weapon
that,
Wheel.
I mean, that was like all back in the very beginning. But what the very beginning conversation was that BG thought that Killzone, or somebody thought Killzone looked better than some PC games, and Rags was like,
Of course
yeah,
it
that's.
does, 'cause
He
not
said
all
he said
graphically impressive.
well, yeah, he said, well, he said that's Rags quoted him saying that that looks good and all. He said, but it's not anything I would be bragging about. And that's whenever BG said, what are you talking about? I really honestly think that looks better than some PC games. He never specifically pointed out like which PC game or anything like that. That was
right.
just a
And that's
thing.
such a
It's
broad
ridiculous.
that's
Which is
like-
actually
well, it's a
which is
setup too.
actually,
Though.
I mean, what he said was true. I mean, it is in fact better than better looking than some PC games. With what he said,
it's a double.
but he wasn't
comparing
really
it to, like-
comparing it though.
Yeah, he wasn't
He was
comparing
Like,
it
all
singularly.
games, when you bring
Yeah.
up, for example, like Doom from 1993 into the argument, then yeah, a game might look better.
Right,
than
but
that,
but I mean,
sure.
he wasn't even bringing up any specific game at all. I mean, he was just basically saying, yeah, I mean, it looks great, and
It's like, yeah, you're pointing out the obvious at this point.
and-
aren't you?
yeah,
Yeah.
and but, I mean, and Rags kind of like went like kind of them two started going back and forth. But it was never about mods, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The
Uh,
comparable. Yeah, the
all
comparable.
of a sudden, like Rags like threw out a list of games, and said these games with mods. And that's whenever I tweeted out that said, I just want to know how mods got brought into it, because you can't compare. If we're comparing the base game to a base game, you can't compare mods. Like if I wanted to go look for Honda Civics
Yeah.
and wanted to compare that to gas mileage for other small cars, I wouldn't go look at my neighbor that has taken the engine out of his Honda Accord and put a hybrid engine in it. I wouldn't compare his car, use his car in the thing, because it wouldn't be a fair comparison. He's going to get like hell of a lot more gas mileage out of it.
Right.
But I would compare it to other like cars of the like thing. So therefore you would do it like to like. You don't add things to it. If you're comparing an apple to an apple, you don't use caramel apples as one of the things.
All right. Here's a question. All right, so I think that's a pretty good argument, but all right, so console gaming has a lot less options than PC gaming.
Yeah.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, if you can go and say that, then how can you complain about how you have to pay $60 a month on console and it's free on PC?
I wasn't.
No,
that wasn't
nobody's
even
complaining
a-
about. Yeah, that wasn't.
no one-
yeah.
no one-
talked
yeah,
about
nobody-
that.
Yeah,
nobody was
nobody said
even
anything
saying
about
that
that.
was
It's kind of the same situation, because how can you compare the two when
Well, you would
one
compare-
movie
you would
actually
compare-
comes
You would compare that
You know, you would
situation
compare,
when
like,
that
to, like,
situation
there's
comes
two
up.
yeah, well, there's that. If you're going to compare the two, you would compare. There's two online services. On Steam, you have an online service. On console, you have an online service. On Steam, it's free. On console, it's not. So therefore, free would be better than 60, I would think. I mean, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't pay $60 for no reason.
Yeah, if I had to say which one's better, free or 60, I would automatically say free.
And to be fair, if it wasn't for PC gaming, we wouldn't have the nice little discount sites that exist now. So hey,
right.
Oh,
You-
yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
no.
the
so
Steam
so
Winter
you
Sale
guys go
happened
ahead and
yesterday.
spend the full $60. I'll stick to my $25 a year. You know, that's
Right.
That's
Well,
my
yeah,
thing.
I mean, but I mean,
and plus they're not getting the money for it, so that's even better.
But I mean, you would compare that, but I mean, it would just get to the point to where, like, it's just almost like that. It was like everybody was, and then like whenever I said that, like, I guess Rags quoted my tweet, and then that's whenever his followers saw, what I said. But the way he replied was like that, graphical mods are graphics you can see, so therefore they would count. And then I got like inundated with just people calling me stupid, people calling me a fool, people, and I'm like, because they kept going PC because his console can't do this. I'm like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Like, I have a PC that probably outdoes yours.
Right.
Like, like, where are you even coming at that? I'm coming from a console standpoint. I don't understand like where you're even doing that. All I said was you can't compare. You can't use mods in the comparison.
Yeah.
Just use like to like, and that's it. I'm not
Okay.
saying even PC would lose at all ever.
Right.
Well, because if it's like a PC versus console argument, you have to include the mods because the mods are part of the PC. If you have a separate
Optionally though. Optionally. No,
those are
optional.
optional.
Yeah.
and options are good.
No,
Yes,
absolutely.
no,
Yeah.
nobody's saying
saying
options are bad. But whenever you're comparing a game, like what a game looks like, then you would compare like to like. You would compare the base game, not the options, because not everybody on PC can actually run the mods.
Right. Because at this point
So-
you're getting into like the smaller details. Like for instance, I could sit there and say a developer's PC quad core GPU is better than your shitty PC. So you might as well just buy whatever he has, right? Like I could say that. And it could be supported, but it would be a shit thing to do. I'm not immediately discounting when I say objective or subjective or any of those comments that we made on Twitter. I wasn't immediately discounting the other side. I was just trying to explain like where the conversation was at versus what it should have been at, because it seems to me that when we do the whole what's better versus than the other, we like to leave out all the details that make things subjectively or objectively better. And I find that funny because this is what console guys do. Console guys do this shit all the time. When you see the little fucking Twitter wars that they get into, like
with
they
each other,
love to leave out details because they could tell you fucking every day in the week that the PlayStation 4 outsold this or the Xbox outsold that, but yet they don't count in. Oh well, what markets are they aiming for? What regions are they in? What was their NPD for last week over in this region? Because those things actually matter. That's what makes up the overall number. And that's just the same thing with this. Like, there's so many details about PC gaming that does make it better, but it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to go ahead and discount the other side either. You know what I mean?
Right, because you have to get to a certain level of PC, quote unquote PC gaming, for it to technically be better than console. And there's different levels, there's different tiers of PC gaming. It's not just PC gaming, because I mean, all those people that are running just laptop, PCs that can barely run, League of Legends, those aren't going to outperform a console. But I mean, those are technically, but those would.
There are people that do it though.
But those would technically be PC gaming. So that's the reason why you can't that's the reason why you can't include
those
like all the
those
extra
laptops or
extras.
the
Talk about PC
or the
gaming, we talk about
e-machines.
the option to be able to upgrade to that.
Well,
And when
right, but
upgrade to that,
you can talk about the option, but you can't include the option because not everybody with PC gaming can include this option.
I think
Right.
you
Most
would, like,
people
say
do,
it as
though.
the platform itself, because you could say that console is better than PC, but you could be talking about Nintendo consoles, and those are very underpowered. So that could kind of be the same.
Well, yeah,
Everyone has a higher end console.
you could, yes.
Yeah,
I mean, the same
I think when
difference.
people are saying this sort of thing, like everyone else,
right.
they mean that the platform itself can, like, if they want to,
Yeah.
if they feel like if they could, if they had the money, they could, they just can. And I guess that's their argument.
Right, but
right.
to me, I wouldn't go by like what somebody could possibly do if they had the money.
I mean,
'Cause
we could-
technically, I mean,
we
technically,
can-
I could buy the developer console that would outdo your PC.
Or better yet, or I can sit there and say I can add cooling mods to my console if I so wish. Doesn't mean I'm
Yeah,
going
I mean-
to, but I can. You know what I mean?
That's
That's why those are
definitely
fallacies in the
pluses.
debate. Yeah, I mean it's pluses, but when you're debating someone, that's why Money Man and I have already talked about this. This is why people, when you debate, you got to come up with facts, not something that is your own personal bias or your own personal opinion. Because at this point, when you do that, when you start bringing in the additives of, well, we can do this or we can do that. Just because we can do it doesn't mean we are. You know what I mean? It's just like a PC gamer that's broke, right? We've all got friends that are PC gamers. They're kind of broke. They're still operating on some old hardware. Hell, I still am to do it to a degree.
I'm trying to upgrade to a 1070 because I have a
Nice.
960 right now.
Hell yeah, do it. But we can sit there and say, well, I can run this and I can run that, but
Yeah, because that's the platform.
that's the platform, right? I can
That's what makes the PC gaming so great because you can do that.
because that's the operative word though. Can.
And most people do. I don't assume like most a huge percentage of PC gamers are on like $10 laptops. I mean, or like
Right.
$100 laptops. I mean,
there's a lot of them that are actually.
Yeah, there's
know,
people.
it's
Yo,
really
there's a lot of weird people out there that are going out and spending $4,000 in that new Acer. I'm like, oh my god, you're stupid. You could easily build yourself
I
a
don't even
fucking
wanna
PC
include
that's.
I don't even want to include those because that's a really stupid move to buy.
Yeah,
a
I'm right there with
laptop.
you on that. I think that is stupid. Like, I mean, I think it's great
It's a
that.
terrible idea. I don't want to
Yeah.
include them like in the. I mean, they are technically a part of the platform. I'm sure it's not a shitty laptop, but it's ridiculous.
No, but you as well as
to
I mean, we all know that laptop platform will actually like be no good in like 2 or 3 years, and they can't do anything about it.
Because they can't. They have some decent laptops, but the desktops are just so much better, and most laptops you can't really even upgrade.
You guys, Rags is probably a little late because
Yeah.
last week, this last podcast, I got on at 11 my time, and I turned out that was really really late. So now that we're actually on time now,
30 a.m. for me right now.
is it?
Yeah.
It's 12:32 for me right now.
So like right now, and so like right now is for what is Arkansas right now? It's what 12 or 1?
I'm in Florida, and that is 1:30.
I think
It's
12 for him.
It's 12:30 in Arkansas.
Okay, so if he doesn't make it tonight, it's my fault. So
Okay, so just for the record, just so that way everybody can actually hear me. Just for the record, so that way I don't keep on getting all these negative shit posts from all these people that are like clueless about who I am and what I do. I think PC is better. I'm not ever going to argue that console is better. I will argue the opposite side just to make you see a different point. However, I personally think that the PC is better. I play a lot on console just because I'm addicted to like trophies. But that has nothing to do with me thinking that like PS4 is actually better than consoles. But there are options out there that for certain people that make console better than PC. And those would be the games that aren't on PC. Obviously, if these people are wanting to play these games, then console would be better for them. I mean, because they're not going to go out and buy a PC if all they want to do is play Madden and all the PS4 exclusives that aren't on PC. It would make no sense.
It wouldn't make sense to buy a console for like 1 or 2 games, but also I did find out like a week ago because my friend found out you can play a Madden 08 on PC for $10.
Yeah, who was that? Was you the one that tweeted me the Madden 08 thing?
Yeah, because that is actually true.
I was gonna like tweet back like the clapping hands like congratulations. I guess I thought you were wanting. At first, I thought you were wanting to compare like Steam libraries and like when you don't really want to go in that realm. It wouldn't.
Well, you got to remember though, like this whole conversation was kind of convoluted in a way on Twitter. Like it was literally all over the place. It was like Kalta was like starting to bust out the insults at the very beginning, and then he was like kind of chill. He at first he was kind of chill. Then he started chilling out when he saw that like because he didn't blow up my Twitter anymore after that. After he started seeing everything. So
well, no, I had to mute some people because like they just came at me from left field like basically saying some weird shit to me. I'm like going like I'm not even replying to you. I'm just gonna mute you because I'm not even dealing with you.
I decided not to say anything because the last time I tried to prove my point to a popular person on the internet, it didn't end well.
Aww.
It's just hard to do. It's hard to do it's not about like you could if you would have came prepared, you would have been a lot better.
Yeah, I was just running and gunning.
You were just going off the fact of PC's better, and I'm
and
gonna,
and
I
see
can prove
that was
this.
the
Like you
topic.
were, that's
Like I talked to Cyrus and me and Rambo had a pretty extensive conversation after your whole situation with that money man, and we all pretty much came to the same conclusion. Like we were all there once, or at least I was.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
I know when I
Everybody goes into a debate unprepared.
oh
Generally,
dude, like when I first started
I did
YouTube,
that tonight. Actually, I
I
haven't done a single bit of
As a
research
matter of
except
fact,
I mean when I was younger here on YouTube back when YouTube first launched, dude, like I did the same shit, man. I was like defending the PlayStation 3 and PC platform. I was fucking going nuts on that shit. And then I kind
but
of
how
like
old are you?
oh my god, I was in my early 20s, dude.
And
That was what
how old are you, Money Man?
mm,
How old are you?
Money Man's in
I
his
can't.
teens. He's in his teens, I think.
Oh, he's in his teens.
Yeah, he's a teensy.
Between like 16 and 19, I'd say.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So
He's
yeah,
a
I mean, well,
teensy. It's okay, Money Man. It's all right. I was
you
gonna make fun of
definitely
you.
you were going into a debate with a
A veteran.
probably 30, 40 year old man.
I don't know. Cyrus is at least 40. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you're talking. He has years of experience in this, where you have probably none, and you were just going off. I mean, you were going completely lopsided in that debate anyway. So I mean, that
it might
it's
have
going
been
to happen,
because
but that's actually a good learning experience for you, though.
it might have been because we had arranged it. I want to say 3 hours before, and I
Yeah.
had no time to look anything up
Are
because
you
I was in
even sure it
Kronos.
was 3 hours? Because I remember me getting there like 20 minutes before it started.
Yeah, because I just told you, like, by the way,
Yeah, that would be probably a problem. I mean, if you're gonna do it, and I mean, you're gonna do it that quickly, you better make sure you know what you're talking about. Like you got all your facts straight and everything together. But
I'm-
it's a learning experience for everybody to.
Hey, and I'm just gonna address
Okay.
Ryth in the chat real quick. Ryth, some of them are just the younger crowd. That's all it is. It's the younger crowd. They wanna impress Rags. They wanna impress the person they look up to, and that's really what it comes down to. No, it really does. I mean, you want the attention of the person. I mean, I can't really say you want the attention. You want to talk to them. You want to interact with them. You want to, and that's cool. I've seen it. I've seen it many times here on YouTube throughout my years here.
Oh yeah, I've
It's
dealt with it
fine.
with a few other fan bases before.
But when they see somebody disagreeing with him, with the person that they look up to, they're getting to get defensive, and that's what happened tonight. People were getting defensive. They didn't really see the whole conversation at first, until they went back and they're like, "Oh, okay, well, that's what was going on. All right." Um,
Uh,
Some of them did,
some
not very.
Not all of them,
them.
not
I
all
can
of
tell
them,
you
not
that.
all
I
of them.
can't-
I mean, I did.
Yeah.
I
First
looked
of all,
back a little
hashtag
bit, but
not
it was
all.
so good.
Yeah, hashtag not all. For sure.
Hashtag not all.
Like, put that in the
And
general
second,
for us.
I'm saying just so in the future, I don't what y'all kind of what you and what Rags and Rambo kind of did was they kind of had an argument in public. I think when y'all have an agreement, a disagreement like that, y'all should probably take it to like DMs or something. Because when you have a public argument like that, you bring up
People are gonna come into it. Yeah.
You basically
Yes,
become
Yeah,
Keemstar.
'cause
You don't
I-
want to become Keemstar. You never.
Well, no,
I
I
saw some
didn't. I
people,
didn't
like,
actually.
talking
I didn't
about-
actually take it as like an argument. I just took it as we were disagreeing on the subject. I didn't. I wasn't ever like upset at Rags or anything like that. I never
Oh, yeah,
took
no,
Rags as.
it's not about being upset though. It's like when you disagree with someone who has a huge following, and
That following will
you
just
start.
yeah.
Yeah, that following's gonna go after you. So you should.
Who's
you know,
playing with it?
ha- you should
it's
ha-
like no
handle
matter
things
whether
out
you're
in
wrong or
private.
right, you are going to get attacked.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that. I mean, I always know every time if I ever disagree with something that Rag says or something that like my notifications are incoming. That's just it's just part of the thing. I mean, if for some reason like, Rich from Review Tech, like for some reason like he replied to me on one of the tweets that I like one of the replies that I sent to him, and next thing you know, my I mean he replied in an agreement, but yet my tweets just blew up because of the fact of like all of his followers, like they all jumped in on it. So yeah, I mean, I know once you get to the like those people that have the huge followings, it's a thing like you better agree with them or else you are the evil shitlord. And even though you could be right,
Yeah.
you're still gonna be the one in the wrong no matter what. And I think that might be like a lot of time. Like Rags actually just quit replying. Like he would like a tweet here and there, But he just quit replying to the whole thing. I think he was probably getting tired of like he didn't really want to keep it going, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the same thing. I didn't really like want to keep going, and then all of a sudden Brimstone like quoted like one of my tweets, so it was kind of just between me and him at the point. And then all of a sudden, like other people started jumping in that one. I was going, shit, they found this one too. And so, but at least it was y'all. I mean, y'all were actually capable of actually. You might have started like he might have started out strong, or you. I'm not looking at the thing. Colto might have started out real strong with it, but then ended up kind of like going, okay, well, us talk. And so, I mean, y'all were all capable of carry on the conversation eventually. The other ones that I got from today, like they were not. Like I kept replying to him, going, I play on PC. I don't even know why the hell you're like coming at me like this. Like you should. I don't know that. Like at one point, you figured that people would know who I was, but
I forgot you were on the podcast. Like, I forgot
it's,
you both were on the podcast, and I was like, hold on a second.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
and it was just a big misunderstanding on a lot of people's parts because they took that one little tweet instead of actually clicking on the what Rags quoted and to see where the whole thing was coming from, they just took that one tweet of Rags and ran with it,
Mm-hmm.
which a lot of followers do that. I mean, that's like what Brimstone was saying. A lot of followers of just other YouTubers too, or even just other followers of big Twitter people. Um, they'll see what that one quoted tweet and they'll think, "Oh, I know everything I was talking about with that 140 character tweet."
yeah,
And there's a whole lot more to a story on Twitter than 140 characters.
Oh,
yeah,
I hate when you have to have like when you're in a conversation and you have to at like 6 people. So I was like, oh, okay, I can write a 5-word sentence. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
when people or you're having a conversation with somebody and all of a sudden they start adding people and I'm like, no, quit. Like I mean, you got it down to where I can put one word a damn reply.
I had
I
that
was
Um,
I was
problem a lot
arguing
on
with this
Twitter with this one
Sierra
kid.
Air guy,
Oh
and
yeah, I was about to say that.
I'm so
he
done with that
kept
guy.
on
Sierra
he
L.
kept
Yeah,
on
I don't reply. I don't reply to
Sierra.
him anymore.
He kept
I
on
don't
trying
take him
to
seriously. It's just funny now.
he kept on
yeah.
Oh,
trying to
okay.
tag
The
in the gameplayness and Rags, and I kept deleting them because I had long responses, and he was like, "Oh,
is that what it stands
you're
for?
untagging the people. It's funny." Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have
I said
both
untag
very
me
cute.
because you were going
But
on. Someone was going on with like freaking about Caesar, and just like it was back and forth, just calling Rags gay and all that. And I was like, can you please untag me? I don't know
That's his
why I've
favorite
suffered
thing to
through it for
do.
this long.
He likes to make Down syndrome jokes. His
yeah,
favorite word is sodomite.
Which is
For
what
some reason.
Mongoloid means, by the way. Hashtag Mongoloid.
no, Mongoloid means they're
Uh,
indigenous from
Sodomite
They're
and Mongol.
indigenous from like a
It
South
means both
America or something
things,
like
which is also very insulting to those people because it also means Down
that.
syndrome.
I think we're all mongoloids here, okay? And we need to respect that.
right.
I don't know. I just I
We need to acknowledge our mongoloid privilege.
I tend
Oh yeah, but but Sierra and the gameplayness and me and Caesar were like all ready for like a debate,
Oh
and he
yeah,
said
I
like,
was
oh, we should
so
do it in the next
down.
2 months, and I was like so excited for this thing, but he wants to do it on Xbox Live Party Chat. I was like, no, we're gonna use Discord, and he refuses to use Discord, I guess for IP issues, which is ridiculous. So
That's
all right, I'll just
that's
keep
kind of stupid considering that
yeah.
like Discord blocks any attempt for any sort of DNS server problems.
Which I also don't know enough about that stuff to even care, so I don't know why.
Well, I'll say it right here. If you can't debate people and you use Discord as your excuse because you're in fear of IP problems, say like what Skype actually does, you're stupid. Whoever says that to you is stupid. They should be able to come
Well,
to
I didn't
you
believe it
and
either because I don't
well,
think there's
they're looking
any
no,
for
single
a
way I've seen.
they're looking for a
no.
way to get out of the
Brum,
debate.
They're getting yeah,
I'm not.
because yeah, they're get because Discord has a special VPN protection. So when you plug into this thing, not many people are going to be able to look at you and be like, "Oh, I'm going to email you shit," just like you could on Skype. On Skype, there was a thing you could do to
Skype
get
was
someone's
terrible.
yeah, you could get
Skype
someone's
has
IP
no
address
privacy
off of it.
really.
Yeah, absolutely.
All my friends found each other's IPs, and I think once turned off their internet. It was really funny.
But I
Right.
mean, like,
It was
again,
like
if you are going
Skype
to
is terrible.
we don't know too much about Sierra L besides the stupid shit he says like on Twitter. But if you are ever going to get into debate with him, just make sure you are prepared
Yeah.
because you
That's why
don't
I was a
know it.
little
You
bit,
you never get to the you never know if, like he's just playing you, and then all of a sudden you get into a debate, and then you don't want to be that get that one chance, and then you be like completely embarrassed by it.
I
Mhm.
was really
You
adamant
definitely
about
don't want to lose to Sierra.
before the one with Cyrus, and afterwards I was.
But Sierra, I mean, Cyrus was actually he talked pretty positively of you. When me and him
He
talked,
actually
yeah,
Yeah,
he
that
was
was
actually really
gracious.
nice about you, dude. No, I'm being
yeah he
serious.
I think he actually understood the fact that y'all were unprepared and young.
Yeah, he
Which
didn't.
both of
He
those two things like really go into play whenever you're in a debate with somebody who is seasoned and older, and understands what he meant, like what he was saying. So I mean, he understood that, and he gave you credit for doing it. He never, even after the fact, whenever he could have basically been like all the other people that on YouTube, like I killed their ass, I whatever. He didn't.
Yeah, I
Um,
was worried that when Brimstone was organizing the video with him on Twitter, because I was
yeah.
following him at the time, I was worried that they were just going to rip into me and like goodbye Twitter reputation.
Oh no, because it's just, I mean, it's just like I said, it's a matter of everybody could tell that you were just unprepared because we knew what you were saying, and I mean, from looking on the third party looking out, I mean, looking into the video from seeing both of y'all, um, you could tell what you were saying. You were just not saying it the way you wanted to say it, and
I'm also really bad
Exactly.
at
Yeah.
talking, just in
yeah,
general.
and he kept trying to like give you that opportunity, but you just weren't able to pick up on the clues. But it was just, I mean, like I said, I just if you ever get into another debate, just definitely keep in mind your last one, so that way you are better prepared for your next one, and you learn from the things. That's how you get better at debate.
you fall and you get back up again. That's
Yeah, I
exactly
mean,
what you
I've
do.
lost tons of them, but I mean, I've also won some. Just it just becomes a thing to where you just learn the nuances, and you'll eventually get to the point if you have enough of them. And God hopes you don't have enough of them, but if you do, to where you can actually just like basically what Cyrus was doing is basically walking like trying to walk you into an answer, but you just wouldn't take it. And it's just a matter of like practice and knowing where you're coming from on your end from facts. Now, I won't say that Cyrus used complete, objective facts every time because he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Uh,
He didn't
but
have
he did.
to.
No, he didn't have to. I
The
mean,
way it came out. Yeah.
the way he baited y'all into a situation, like from almost the very beginning, and as soon as y'all took that bait, it was all subjective at that point. And y'all were the problem was y'all were never able to bring it back to the objective portion of it, and that's you just gotta if you're gonna debate somebody, you gotta stay completely on topic, even if they try to go off topic. You got to stay on topic because once they take you off topic, they can control the situation. Just kind of a little word of advice going
There's
forward.
another thing is
Two things I want to say.
go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. All right. First thing is, we're in a podcast right now, and you just said baited. I'm quite triggered.
Oh my god.
And two, if is this live?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is live. Yeah.
Yeah, we're live.
Okay. So.
Oh
Alright, so
shit!
this
I
is
told
live.
my friends
So
it wasn't live. Fuck.
okay. So anyone watching this wondering about the debate, don't watch it. It's
Yeah,
awful.
don't.
Oh yeah,
It's
I
the
mean, if
most
you're
horrible thing ever. Everyone says dumb things. Literally.
It's
I
worse than
didn't.
the it's worse
let's put
than
it
the
this
Star
way,
Wars prequels.
if you
I didn't
let's
watch
put it this way, if you watch the debate, go into it knowing that you're not, don't go into it trying to like badmouth these two, because I personally will be offended if you do that, because there you can say easily from your standpoint from listening to it you could do better, but I would like to see a lot of people just jump into a debate with, say, even Rags,
Oh
with
god.
30 minutes to prepare.
The better way for me to handle that debate was to not.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah,
It would have been better for you
Rambo,
not to at the time, and then kind of go back whenever you're ready.
Oh, and
everyone watching, listen to what Rambo said up to the point where he said, don't go into it." Listen up to that point. Just take
I-
those. Actually, just take the four.
cut off
words,
the other
"Don't go
half and
into it,"
just
and you're
say.
good.
It's
Just
just not. I
use-
mean, it's really not worth it. I mean, it's really not like that.
Christmas is almost here. Why don't you go spend time with family instead of watching my embarrassment?
Just don't play video games.
It's like this, guys. It's like this, right? When we debate, the most important thing you guys can possibly take from any debate you guys find yourself in is don't make it personal. Because when you make it personal, it's no longer a debate. It de-escalates the entire conversation. It devalues everything that you were there for in the first place, and it turns it into a cheap situation. So when you debate with somebody, make sure you know the characteristics of that individual and make sure you're pretty analytical in what they say and how they say it. Because I'm very much into wordplay, as Colt already knows.
Yes.
I pay attention to the entire situation as much as possible, and I really focus in on the words that they say and how they mean it. Because perception is more than 90% of the debate. If you can perceive things correctly, you can actually have a really good debate. It could be really fun. Or you can have a really shitty debate and it turns into a shit flinging contest. So it could you got to be
That's
careful.
what I feel like. If I do debate with Sierra and the game plan, that's what it's gonna turn into.
It's not if you can. It depends. Okay, it's kind of hard to if you ever like operate off of like when you're talking with somebody. If you ever get to the point of operating off of emotion rather than logic or facts, then you're never going. It's going to be hard for you to win a debate.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go through that though.
Because
I
of
don't
the
think I'm gonna
fact-
be emotionally hurt from what he says.
Well, no. I'm not. I'm not even. I'm not talking about like being emotionally hurt. I'm talking about like if you're passionate about like you don't. If you're a passionate person, you don't want to go into a debate with about logic and facts because you're going to bring your passion into it. You're going to have to leave that separate because, like me, I'm a very passionate person when it comes to Naughty Dog, but I would not come into a debate and take that passion with me because everyone, as soon as you say something negative about Naughty Dog, if I was to bring that with me, it's going to trigger some sort of response, and that will lose what Brimstone said. That will like basically cut off that debate at that point and just make it an argument.
Absolutely.
So you just have to you basically just have to deal like stay strictly non-emotion, just logic, facts, analytic. And just stick with analytics, and that's it.
And the
And you will-
analytic game and the logic game will take you further than any emotion or passion you could ever display.
Rambo,
Right? Yeah.
I analyzed that 200,000 million people hated Last of Us.
Two
sure they
hundred thousand million people.
Actually, I honestly don't think that game. I love the game. I think in the very beginning. I mean, I'm a parent, so
yeah, that was rough.
obviously
That
the
was
very
rough.
beginning it was rough for me.
Oh yeah.
But I can understand why people didn't think it was actually like the best game. So that one isn't really a good example because I like Rag says it's like an okay game, but it is what it is. Like I'm passionate about like them. Like when I say that's more about them being I think they're like one of the best developers out there.
Yeah.
If they were
make some
actually
really good games.
if they were actually given, I mean, obviously they would never be where they're at right now if it wasn't for Sony. But now if they ever graduate from Sony and go like to like say multi-plat to where they're doing PC and everything else, I could only imagine like what they would be able to do building a game strictly for PC.
He's gonna hate what I'm about to say.
I want
Oh, boy.
I want Infamous on PC. That's just what I want.
He's gonna hate what I'm gonna have to say.
That would be cool, yeah.
'Cause
What
it-
was that?
If they go multi-plat, the quality of game that they currently are making and giving Sony
It'll go down.
It will never be the same. Yeah, it
No,
will
because
never be
when
that
you're
same
working
level.
when you're working with one single hardware, it's a lot easier.
It's a lot
build
easier to
quality.
optimize
Yeah.
in quality. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, if they were to like switch from like say Sony to strictly on PC, that would be. Could you imagine like if they were able just to focus like on high end PCs,
Mhm.
like what they could create? That would be. It would almost be like playing a movie, an actual.
But even on PC, you're not dealing with just a single platform. You're dealing with multitudes
true.
of
I mean,
platforms
you're-
on a platform.
That's the reason why I
base,
said like
so-
high. That's the reason why I said like high end because I mean you're dealing like basically
It's a little bit more.
980
Yeah, it's a
Ti's
little
up.
bit more narrowed down. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like you said, I mean, if you're just dealing with PC, I mean, they got to develop for the low end PCs to play it and the high end
Mhm.
PC, so therefore the quality will suffer some bit.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's just to me, I think that's one of the things. So whenever I see Naughty Dog is creating a game, I can guarantee you on that one I will get it day one because they have yet to actually turn me away from a game. There's nothing, no nothing that predates anything for me to look back and go, maybe I should be weary of that.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, say, Ubisoft or EA, I can definitely say, yeah, mate, it looks
Oh god,
great,
not
looks
Ubisoft. Jesus
wonderful,
Christ.
but I might not get it. That, like, that type of thing. But
Yeah.
I would never go into like a debate about Naughty Dog with those type of mind, like the thought process of they're just the greatest developer, because eventually somebody's going to try to pick that weakness, and if I react to it, they basically got me off the debate and into an argument.
Yeah.
If that makes
By
sense.
the way, why are so many people defending Keemstar today? Because I don't understand. I noticed like in the chat earlier, right here in the general ship post or whatever, some people were arguing about Keemstar, and then the gameplayness was arguing about Keemstar, and I don't even know what happened.
Wait, in Discord?
If he,
Yeah, Discord. Someone was arguing. It was like popping up in my messages because I just joined the
they
channel.
were maybe defending him about the whole his video with the interview with the uh,
Mhm.
flight passenger was removed by the subreddit mods,
Oh yeah, I actually did hear
saying
about that,
saying that it was too political. But
which is
yet they
That
but
yeah,
yet they
that's
left
ridiculous.
they left Adam Salah's lie in the subreddit.
Yeah, that's kind
So
of ridiculous.
it's another part of the thing about, you know, there's people out there, the powers that be, whether it be the subreddit mods, whether it be these mainstream media, or whatever, they want a certain narrative brought out, because if that narrative is brought out, then they like the people who control the information control the narrative. So if they don't like something that you say, or if they don't like the truth, then they can delete it, and therefore it still feeds people this narrative that Donald Trump is, the terrible thing, because, and this is evidence of it,
He's a
because this, Adam
racist.
Saleh
He's a
got
misogynist. Blah blah
it
blah.
helped
Yeah.
it helps that narrative, because the more and more stories come out like what Adam Saleh did, or
Yeah.
what happened to Adam Saleh, like, quote unquote, is more fits the narrative of it's all because of Trump, and it's all because of this white nationalist world we live in. But if the truth comes out behind it, saying that people like Adam Saleh and stuff is lying, then it breaks that narrative, and they don't control you anymore. So I don't know who's the subreddit mod, but I mean, that I would imagine that they have a political agenda along with it.
They're a Bernie supporter.
That doesn't change. It wasn't even Bernie or
Jill
Hillary, any
Stein
of those. So
2016.
Jill Stein. Oh
Jill
god.
Stein.
Yo,
it
like
just
that's
I
a whole
know
nother
all of
bag of
two
crazy.
people. I'm
Yo,
pretty
I
sure
don't
only
want to get
two
into
people
politics.
voted for
Please
Jill
no.
no.
Stein.
Oh no, I don't. Yeah, I'm not going to get into politics, but maybe the reason why uh, people were defending him. I personally, from the stuff prior to, between the whole baited thing, I can't. It's indefensible to me for what happened.
Yeah.
Uh,
I have a question about politics. Okay, real quick.
okay.
No, no.
Well, he can
Okay,
ask a
so
No,
question.
go ahead, go ahead.
all right, so in the election, all right, so there was Trump, there was Hillary, there was Jill Stein, and there was some other faggot. Who
Gary
is
Johnson.
that? I do not know. Gary Johnson. That's a dumb name. Okay.
Okay, what was you?
What's wrong with two
I
first
did
names,
not,
huh?
for the life of.
I
I
have
did
three
not,
first
for the
names.
life of me, know his name.
Two first names matter. Lives matter.
I have three first names, so we're even more. We matter more.
You're hurting 2/3 of them.
Okay, so what was the
Yes.
question?
But
Was
that was it. Just who was the
Who
other
was he?
guy? 'Cause
Oh,
I
okay, all
genuinely
right.
didn't
all
know
right.
Gary
his name.
Johnson.
Okay, well, here
Thank
I got
you.
another story. It actually happened today.
Story time with Rambo.
Resurrection. I don't know if any of y'all know him.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. Well, he posted a video the other day, because these days of Christmas or whatever he posts. It's actually kind of funny what he does, but he was talking about, he's asking people to submit to him like certain Xbox channels that aren't fanboy related. So I guess somebody submitted this one guy. His name is
Crap gamer.
no, God no. That's this guy
Kitchen
was
TV.
Livewires Gaming, and so Resurrection's video was basically like I guess a way to make him to see let people see that he is not like a normal person, as far as like a normal gamer. He is more of a fanboy, because there were several tweets that he put out talking about how Yoshida sleeps with 12-year-olds. I wonder like why. Yeah, there's one Sony executive that can't spend Christmas with his 12-year-old niece. I wonder who that is. And then there was a video that this guy did, and he's talking in Japanese. So he says he was. And basically, and then he sings a song going, "I want to be. I think I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese. Whatever." And I was like, "Dude, that's like completely
Okay.
racist."
That's extremely racist.
He's like, "Well, how's it racist?" He's like, "These people want to be Japanese. How's that racist?" I was like, "That would be like me as a white guy going on my channel talking about people liking San Andreas and going, I think I'm turning Negro. I think I'm turning Negro." And I was like, "Well, but saying the other word, obviously."
Right,
He's
right.
like, "Well, show me the African American developers." I'm like, "It doesn't matter what they are. This obviously was created about, Black Americans because there was nothing but Black Americans in that or Black people in that damn game." Um, and he's like, "Well, just so you know, there's a song back in the '80s called 'I'm Turning Japanese.' So I'm guessing you think that's racist too." And I'm like, "Yeah, it doesn't matter." I was like, "There's songs called We Are All Niggers and Nigger
Oh,
Lover too." I was like, "Does that really make nigger not racist?" Like, does it like what
Right.
is your logic by bringing up a song? I mean, just because somebody created a song by it with those racist terms don't make the words or the terms not racist.
Right.
Yeah, but the big thing is it was made in the 80s. Okay.
No, still.
my friend was just telling me the
I'm
other
just
day
joking.
how racist the 80s was because of we were playing Friday the 13th beta, and they made like the black girl, the athletic girl, and the fastest girl, which I was like, well, I don't know about that. He's like, oh no, dude, the 80s were super racist.
No, the '80s weren't racist. The '80s were very stereotypes. So that would have fit the stereotype of black people. They're faster.
Which would make sense, yeah.
Uh,
They were faster.
It was very more. The movies and stuff were more like fed into stereotypes a lot more than what we would allow today. But the '80s were actually, I would say, one of some of the best times ever as far as music and the movies that came out.
I love the
They just didn't care back then. I mean, there wasn't this huge stigma about saying things. So you had a little bit more freedom and with creativity and
Well,
stuff. I mean,
nowadays, plus you got to remember nowadays, people are making bigger deals than they really were back then. You know, what I mean, like we don't have the same sort of uproar that we
oh
have
no, not
nowadays,
at all.
comparable to last, that
And
generation.
and
So,
this guy actually said that in his video, he's like, "What the fuck are these people even wanting these Japanese games for? They're not even from Japan." And I'm like going,
what?
"Wait a minute. How like at what point do you have to be from Japan to like JRPGs?" I was like, "Or are you? Did you? I mean, are
You
you from
only like
Poland?
Taco Bell if you're Mexican.
Are you from Poland? I mean, did you like The Witcher 3? Because I mean, you're not from Poland, are you? I mean, but that doesn't make sense.
I like Battlefield 1, but this isn't 1913.
Yeah, no kid. Yeah, and I mean, it was. He basically he's saying
I like Wendy's, but I'm not ginger.
people are going obsessive with the JRPGs and they're wanting to be Japanese. And I'm like, please tell me how he's. I know he's referring to Iron Wolf, but I was like, please tell me how Iron Wolf like asking for JRPGs on the Xbox One is being obsessive. I don't understand. I mean, he goes a little bit overboard with trying to trash Xbox and like uplift Sony. He's really a weird character. But as far as being obsessed with Japanese culture, I don't see that as by asking for JRPGs on your console. Especially whenever Phil came out back in 2013 that said you will see JRPGs on the Xbox One. To me, you're just basically asking Phil to stand up to live up to what his words were.
what I think is funny is they always want to make it more than what the
Yes,
base conversation was originally about.
just like today. Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of what happened today.
it's
I
I
just
just
I
don't
agree with that
understand
though.
it personally.
I don't either.
I,
It's like why do you want to feed into other I don't know. I don't feel like arguing every damn time. I don't understand like why people want. It's almost like they want to argue.
Yeah, it's like with Sierra. Um, one of his points was that you don't own your games and how that one thing with Origin, how they took it away in like Myanmar or whatever.
Right.
Somehow that turned into the disk size of the Xbox One disc, like it's 50
I think that
gigabytes,
that was the
100
most
gigabytes.
stupidest argument I've ever had to even look at. I do
Wow.
not care about digital versus physical copies. It is the most pointless argument when arguing PC versus console.
I
There,
mean,
there are advantages to both sides,
Yeah,
but
well, that's
both
a
sides
and
also
there's
have
dis
both.
yeah, and there's also disadvantages to both sides of that. But I don't
Yeah,
understand
I
like
know.
how
So like,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
care which side. I use digital copies, and I don't give a
Same.
shit.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if you say, "Oh, well, you technically own them," or like, "Well, I'm playing them, so I don't give a shit." Is
Yeah,
the
I
most.
mean that
I think
I
might the most pointless argument I think
it's
I've
it
ever
is
even had to look at for this.
that's like people trying to find a way to fight. I mean,
yeah.
because to me, I
He would like at me out of nowhere. Like I
I've never.
commented on this one tweet about global warming that one of my friends tweeted,
oh god,
and then that turned into PC versus console because of
How do you
Sierra.
do that? Oh, because of
Exactly.
Sierra. It's like, how do you bring? Okay, because Sierra will bring up Rags as a faggot when you're talking about like graphics on a PC. It just happens.
see that's what I've learned actually over time is like if people are going like that guy that I had a conversation with that ended up turning into like here's a picture of my girlfriend. Um, it
Sounds like a
started out
fun
like where
conversation.
yeah, it started out to where like he was actually having like adding coming back with adding more than just insults to me or whatever. So I will engage in a conversation like that, but if you're engaging in a conversation just because from the other person just trying to argue, then you're never going to get anywhere. I mean, I don't, I have more things to do in my day that I would rather do, like root canals and everything else, that rather than argue with people. I hate arguing.
You're a dentist.
No, I just would rather do a root canal, or have one done
No,
than have
I'm
an argument.
just saying. I could picture you as a dentist. Just saying.
I can't because I would not be able to look inside
Yeah.
people's
Well, you
mouth.
know what? Well, you're not smart. Okay. You're a dentist.
You're a dentist now. Deal with it.
You're not a real
You're a
dentist until you
dentist.
kill a
You're a
lion.
dentist. You mongoloid.
May the mongoloid dentist memes
Oh god, there
flow
with the
through
mongoloid things.
you.
Now, when it comes to I digital, like I understand like PC. Obviously, I'm not gonna go buy physical on PC because it would trouble me that I could only buy a very small number of my library on physical. But
Yeah.
uh, they do have a point like you don't own the game because we talked about it about a couple podcasts back where Xbox had gone in and like removed some games from like the 360 era, and these people went to go play them or re-download them on the Xbox One or not or after the Xbox One came out, and they couldn't. They were no longer there. But luckily Xbox gave them the money back for it, and we've determined that Microsoft is the only one that actually does that. Like there's always a way to find them on Steam, and there's always a way to re-download them if you have them on Steam, and there's always a way to re-download them if you have them on PlayStation. But Xbox is the one that's really guilty for that, and he's an Xbox guy, so he probably maybe has even been stung by that before. But I don't understand how he can turn that into disc size and everything. I mean, everybody knows a Blu-ray disc is 50 gigabytes. I mean, I don't know how that's a positive. I don't know. I don't. It doesn't make sense.
I don't
He
get
was
that.
Sierra was saying that the like Xbox and PS4 games, they download the game right off of the disc, no internet required.
They do. Well, they do, but most games do require an update. Very like the small pedally games, like the Snoopy's Grand Adventure, didn't require an update. Minecraft Story Mode didn't require an update. But those are the games like nobody really wants to play. But all the big games, Call of Duty and all them, or even the story-based games, require an internet patch like
Well,
day
you
one,
can
every single one.
also if these are really a thing, if the argument was based about disc, which I don't know why that would.
Yeah, I
I
don't either.
would I
But
would say if that was really a thing, I mean, PC gamers right now can go to Steam and have their games burned onto a disc. So I mean, that option's available. I don't know why
yeah,
that's a thing.
It's like
I don't know
such a
why people would want to do
dumb
that. I mean, that
argument.
Wait, that's a thing.
Yeah, yeah, you could do that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I would never do that with my library because I don't know if I'd have enough
I've got.
shelf space
I
for
don't.
it.
I was just gonna say I don't think I have
I've
enough.
scratched or lost
That's
all my physical
amazing.
copies. I rather
Hmm.
just have digital copies at this point.
Well, if you have them
I
on Blu-ray, it's okay because Blu-ray is very hard to scratch. But if they
Oh,
put them
trust
on
me, I could
DVD,
figure out a way. I could
if they
figure
put
out a
them
way.
on DVD, do they put them on DVD, Brim?
what the PC
The
games?
games on Steam, yeah.
Yeah, you put it on DVD. Yeah,
Yeah, there's no way I would do that because that's you're like waiting
but you
to.
could also put it on Blu-ray if you so choose. I mean,
Okay,
it's
it just
really an
costs more.
option. Yeah, it'll cost a little bit more as far as because the discs are pretty expensive. But
I never knew that you could even do that.
if you have a Blu-ray burner, if your disc drive's a Blu-ray burner, yeah, I could do that. Yeah.
Oh wow,
Mhm.
that's interesting.
It works the same
I
as
didn't.
pretty much any other burning software. You can find the burning software for free right now, and it'll have a Blu-ray option for you. So yeah,
It would it just have the protection like the same DRM? Would you be downloading the DRM as well?
I don't think so. I think this is like legit the game, and then you have to down. Then you can just install it onto a offline desktop.
Huh. That's pretty interesting, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That sounds amazing. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that have a lot of misconceptions about PC gaming. I always thought was kind of funny, and that's always been one of them. If anybody has ever been guilty of anything as far as DRM goes, besides Microsoft, Sony had their fair share back in the PlayStation 3 days when people would download their games digitally and they saw actual performance dips because of it. Nobody really talks about that, but that actually happened. In fact, that was on a Digital Foundry video because they found it too, and they had to come up with a way to fix this, and it didn't really even fix it. You still got fucked. And that's why I was always kind of straying away from digital because Sony was my first digital platform to experience, and that shit pissed me off. I was like, Jesus, I can't even play my fucking games properly because the goddamn digital download doesn't operate as good as a physical disc. It's ridiculous. You had to clear your cache out. You had to reset your internet. You had to do all kinds of shit just to get the game to work with all of its assets. Like, it was retarded.
I had
I've
somebody
never
the other
bought a
day.
PS of
I had
any kind.
somebody the other day like tell me that I was stupid for not wanting Xbox's Envision for DRM back in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, can you explain to me like what exactly? Like, there's no DRM. Like that was beyond DRM. I mean, to the point to where like they wanted to control
That
not
was a
only.
streaming service, wasn't it?
Well, no, they wanted to make it to where it's all digital. You had to check in every 24 hours, or it would break your console. Um, and then they wanted to make it to where if the disc copies that were out there, that if you went to go trade them in, that like GameStop would have to pay a small fee in order to get them like okayed to resell again.
Yeah, the
Uh,
keys or whatever.
yeah, so I mean, it would go above and beyond, DRM of their choosing. I mean, it would go way beyond that. And I was like, that makes no sense. I mean, that's very way too controlling. I was like, there's DRM right now. There's DRM on. He's like, yeah, but the devs would have more freedom because you couldn't. If you bought used, they would get more money. You wouldn't go against them. I was like, if you're really caring about freedom for devs and like that, why are you even on Xbox? Go to PC.
Yeah.
I was like, there's DRM there, but they allow like Steam allows all, but basically creative control to the devs. Like they have full creative control. And then you don't have to have like this silly control thing from Microsoft that they were wanting. That would be that would have set a bad precedent going forward if that would have gone through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now I believe in that would be cool with DRM and stuff like that, but just DRM. Just stick with digital rights management, and we'll move. Go from there, but not to the point to where you want to control third party sales and everything else.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're coming up on an hour, gentlemen, and so I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go down the line. We're gonna start off with Colto. Colto, do you have a YouTube channel, sir? If so, let's talk
No,
about.
I do not.
No, you don't.
No,
All
I
right.
do not.
Next, Major Awesome. How about you?
I do. I don't have anything uploaded on it.
Are you going to in the future?
Yeah. I'm saving. I'm gonna, build like my own PC,
Okay.
It's fun.
gaming PC. Once I get that, I'm gonna start my own channel. And stuff.
That's a lot of fun.
Adult Legos is always amazing. Money Man. Now, Money Man. I think it's safe to say you can get yours up there if you want, sir. You're definitely somebody who You know, you've come a long ways in your own situation. So, what do you do on your channel, sir?
I don't have one.
Are you going to?
I maybe if I do and I devote any like responsibility to it, where like if post something that I really care about onto
Yeah.
it probably won't always be about games.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's fine.
60% it won't be about games.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
cool.
fine.
No, that's good.
I actually enjoyed like channels that aren't strictly one type of content.
Yeah, because I like comedy music.
That's good. Yeah. What about you,
I actually,
Rambo? You got anything
I
coming down
actually
the
have a
pipeline?
YouTube channel now. It's
Oh, do
called
you?
the Reckiness4258.
Oh, you
The
have a
what?
YouTube channel
No,
now?
I'm
Oh,
kidding.
I was like,
But
like that was quick.
I
No.
might
uh,
actually just make a YouTube channel really quick and post like a screenshot of something for 5 seconds, just by the name the Reckiness4528.
all right, you do that, and if you actually dedicate yourself to it, I'll put your channel link down below whenever you decide you want to do that. Just message me here on the Discord or whatnot.
I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, come on, man. Jesus. Anyways, Rambo, do you have anything coming down
Uh,
your pipeline yet, or
I
are you
definitely
still
have.
dealing with
I
stuff?
definitely have the. Well, no, I have the best games of the year, worst games of the year coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's probably going to be like my only video between here and the end of the year because for one thing, like with the family, and then I still have like my last few doctor's appointments next week. Um, but I'm actually rearranging things to where I can actually put my green screen behind me
Mm-hmm.
and keep it there, to where I can start doing kind of just daily videos where I can actually just jump on. I don't really need a script or anything like that or gameplay. I can just talk to the camera and then have like maybe gameplay behind me on the green screen. So I'm starting in the beginning of the year. I'm going to really start uh, gathering a lot of focus onto my channel and getting more out there. But for right now, I'm just gonna like definitely focus on getting the best and worst games of 2016, on my
Sounds good.
opinion,
Sounds good.
out there.
Yeah, we gotta figure
I
out your
could,
bitrate issues with your videos.
Yes.
I'll work with you on that because I've noticed on your last gameplay video, I was like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
Yeah, I
So,
don't. Yeah, I don't get
so
it.
we'll get that figured out and get you all squared away.
I have a quick question about certain preferences because I don't know what to choose.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
For a new monitor, would you go for higher frame rate or higher
Oh, I
resolution?
actually am getting a new monitor for
Well,
Christmas.
like, what are
What's
you
your
like?
budget?
What's the difference in the
Um,
resolution that you're referring to?
well, right now, like at this moment, I'm using some. I think it's 1600 by 1200 square monitor for the time being. It's going to
Mm-hmm.
change hopefully soon. But I
Yeah.
found a really like a nice cheap LG monitor, 25 inches, very like, I want it.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2560 by 1080. It's
Okay.
like $170.
Is
But
it
I
is it an
also really
IPS
want.
panel?
Hmm?
Is it an IPS panel?
I believe so.
If it's an IPS panel, it's for how much did you say it was?
170. I think it's on sale.
Totally
Yeah,
worth it.
IPS is
Totally worth
if you're
it.
gonna do 1080, definitely go with IPS.
IPS is the most clear image you're ever gonna get when it
I got
comes to the
my I
output.
got three.
Yeah.
I've got three. I think 27-inch monitors, and they're both
Three.
1920 by 1080, and they're all three of them are IPS monitors, and I think I paid 199 for each of them.
Yeah. I've got a
But I'm
In the shit post, that's the monitor I think I'm getting for Christmas.
I got two IPSs done by Acer because right now Acer is
yeah,
still
same
the
Acer, yeah.
standard. Yeah, Acer right now does the best IPS on the market. They are very artist friendly because they have the color correction and all the color palettes matching damn near 100% for all image processing applications like Adobe and whatnot. They're the best on the market right now. LG is coming up, and so is Samsung. So if you get a good price for that LG, do it because
Now
like I
wait,
said,
You
IPS
said
is definitely good.
speaking of, sorry, speaking of that LG monitor, um, I just opened up Amazon to look for it,
Mm-hmm.
and I found it, and it's LED, but the
no.
one underneath it is cheaper and IPS,
Go
and
with
I
that
hadn't
one.
even found
Yeah,
that one yet.
yeah.
So that worked out very well.
Yeah, definitely go with the IPS over LED or LCD, whichever one it is. That now you said resolution or frame rate. Like, what is the other one that you're referring to?
Is like
The-
I don't have like a specific
refresh rate.
monitor, but
Yeah,
the
but, like-
refresh rate would be like 144 hertz.
I mean, if you're still getting
Response
if you're still going to
time.
get 1080p on both of them, then I mean, it would be a no-brainer to go with a higher refresh rate. But I mean, if you're going like lowering from 1080 to 720 to get a higher refresh rate, then that's kind of like your preference on how much you want to push a game. I would recommend definitely going the 1080 60 versus the 720 144.
I'm in 1080 right now, but this alone looks pretty good. If I can get the new graphics card, I want 1070. I can run most of my games with this shit here.
Nice.
And depending on what-
GTX
1440p.
780 reference, so it's like I'm hoping to get one for Christmas. I don't know.
Yeah, depending on what your graphics card is too, because I mean, if your graphics card can't push 144 on a lot of the graphic settings higher, then you're, to me, really kind of like wasting money there.
Yeah, because I don't know if the card can do 2560 by 1080 well, or it can use the 144 hertz option well. Like
It should be able to do the 2560 by
Which card?
1080.
Which
That
card is
shouldn't
it again?
be 760.
GTX 780.
It should be fine.
It should
as
do
long
the
as
it should do the 2560 by 1080 pretty well. I mean, that shouldn't be the problem. Pushing a higher frame rate to me seems harder than pushing just a wider screen of 1080.
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
So I mean, I would definitely go with the 2560 by 1080. Unless you're upgrading everything here soon, then look for prepare for what you're going to do in the future. But if you don't foresee upgrading your GPU for quite some time, or maybe even a year or two, just go stick with the 1080 for right now. That's 1080 60.
Yeah.
That's what I would suggest to keep costs low and to be able to get you into the desktop as quickly as possible.
All right, guys. So just before we end this, we're gonna see if we can mess with Rambo by going ahead and going into this thing of called I subjectively objectify
God.
objectively, because I'm an objective person who subjectively subjects you to objectively being incorrect
Oh my
objectively.
God.
Jesus.
Got it?
I hate it's a fucking word, man. I hate it.